one of the main things I knew and I realized is that I was always hitting this plateau and hitting the glass ceiling, and I just didn't know what to do next. And I turned to mentors. So that's one step, and definitely the equation of other things and education and going in that route as well. But mentorship, joining a community and people that are going to be able to help you get to that next point is really a good step. It has helped me get through and past some blocks. And again, I'm still, in comparison to my mentors and individuals I'm inspired, chapter 2, and they're on their chapter 20s and 30s. So it's never a point to compare yourself that distance, right? Everybody starts from a certain point.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Business with AHA. Now, this is where we bring on business professionals to give you insights and tips about the business world and entrepreneurship. So, friendly face today, Joey Bigelli. He is a business strategist and a StoryBrand guide up in Toronto. I'm sure that it's nice and cold up there. What's up, Joey? Welcome back.
Hey, man, thanks. Happy to be back. And, it is snowing, it is cold, but it's homey, and it's really around the holidays right now. It's bringing it together. Let's hope it stays. In light of that, it means we may be staying inside, but doesn't mean business is done. So I know we had a good chat last week about that and, kickstarting passion. And I'm excited to get going this week.
Yeah, definitely. So let's just dive in. Last week, we did talk about passion and why passion was so important to have before even starting a business. So this week, I'm really curious. Let's say that I have developed that passion and I'm really passionate about coaching or helping others to live a more full life or whatnot, somewhere in that area. What would be my next steps after passion to really level up in that space?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great conversation last week. So I'm really excited. And anybody new tuning in, check that out, go back. Especially if you're looking to get something started in the new year right now, wherever that might be, because it's super powerful. And also the next steps is just as important. When we look to educate past our passion point, which is just, giving maybe an understanding and interest, something new that we just got involved with. Like Tim Grover said, it's really about going in and giving it your all. And a lot of times that even in itself is confusing. So what is all? What do I do? What are the next steps? And I hit that point too, right? So one of the main things I knew and I realized is that I was always hitting this plateau and hitting the glass ceiling, and I just didn't know what to do next. And I turned to mentors. So that's one step, and definitely the equation of other things and education and going in that route as well. But mentorship, joining a community and people that are going to be able to help you get to that next point is really a good step. It has helped me get through and past some blocks. And again, I'm still, in comparison to my mentors and individuals I'm inspired, chapter 2, and they're on their chapter 20s and 30s. So it's never a point to compare yourself that distance, right? Everybody starts from a certain point. But even if you can't afford to get to a mentorship or to get into a program, you and I have both dived into books. The mentors that we followed and the individuals, the authors, the people that inspired us have all written countless books. And YouTube's a wealth of knowledge as well to dive into. But starting there is really where you can see if this, again, meets your expectations and you really want to dive into that field that you're interested in, what you're passionate about, really consuming that information. And once the time's ready, or if you're really looking, to save time and to cut down the process and make the investments, I definitely dive into it, because there's nothing you lose by investing in yourself. Even if it's money and monetary, I'm putting out this much. Well, because it's for you, you can't lose, right? If you were to invest into a property, if you were to invest into something external, then you'll lose that thing. But you'll always gain a lesson by investing into yourself, by reading books, and going into details like that. Yeah, whatever your passion might be.
Yeah, I love that, Joey, more than you know. And obviously, we met through mentorship, right? Through Tom Bigelli, which, we paid a little bit of money to be part of Impact Theory University. But before that, he was our mentor just by his podcast and his show and all the advice and the guests that he brings on, and all the recommendations of all the books that he recommends through his guest, right? And I couldn't agree more. Like, we can go so far with passion, just through passion and purpose. We can get to a certain level, but we're going to hit a ceiling because we don't know all the answers. We don't know how to bridge the gap from where we are here to way over here where our goal or business might be. So how do you bridge that gap if you don't know the answers? You have to educate yourself, you have to train yourself, and you have to find someone to help you in that space, because sometimes a lot of people want to do it all on their own, but mentorship is extremely, extremely important. And just to add to that, it doesn't cost any money to read a book. It doesn't cost any money to go on YouTube. But I will also say, I encourage individuals, when they are ready to spend that money, spend that money. I spent $10,000 to become a life coach. And outside of spending that money, that was the most transformational training for myself, for my life. My whole life transformed throughout this year program by actually using these principles. And Tom says all the time, information in equals information out. So the more new ideas, perspectives, concepts that we can insert into our mind, our brain is a magical thing. It will start regurgitating it in very creative ways, specifically for you and whatever your passion is.
Yeah, and you know, mentioning goals even, that is very powerful, right? Because you want to be obviously heading to a point, right? And then by trying and going in and reading different points of other individuals, they'll start to guide you, inform you as well. Now, you obviously have your own internal compass in the way you want to be living and wanting in your life, and what the wealth that you want to bring to yourself, whatever that might be. But, you know, one of the points you resonated with me is that you took that course. One, because it was an interest to you and you knew that would be the next level, but two, most likely you're like, this is going to really expedite the process. It's going to set you up and kill a lot of time, because you could technically do it on yourself. And you see a lot of people do this, right? That maybe they don't have the certifications per se. And I know in today's world, you don't really need all of that. In my personal belief, right? The educational systems right now, a lot of them are broken. So you could do a lot of things outside of it and learn on different platforms, heck, even Google, YouTube, and all these places. But what you do know is this is a concrete educational platform that you went through that saved you that much time, and now you are here because of it, right? So there is that point that even through this process of what can you get off the internet, the videos that you watch, you're going to need to have some sort of structure, a standard that you know is going to be good for you, and that's going to help you get to that next level. And there's always that first investment that's the hardest. You think about your first car, your house that you got. That point of making that leap is the most challenging. But what does it usually feel like after?
Feels fucking good. Victory. Yeah. Like, wow, look what I did.
Why
look
did
what
I do it sooner?
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't have done it soon enough, you know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah. And a lot of people get stuck up on it. They'll push it off. They think if somebody else is better, or look for the next person, right? And I mean, there are people out there you got to be mindful of, and their strategies may not be the most ideal, ethical, whatever the case might be. But if you've been following somebody for a while, you like their style and stand. Like I've been following Tom for about a year, and I follow my other coach right now. I've been following him around 4 years. And I just tagged on with him now. I just tagged on with Tom last year. And I didn't overwhelm myself with too much, but each person has allowed me to elevate and get to the next game. Like what I've learned from Bakar has been, a game changer, because he's set me already up with this next opportunity and tasks to work with Cole and Savan out of the sales academy that I'm working with. And those people, right from that one mentorship have connected me to a whole new world and spectrum, and has pivoted and shaped the direction I want to take, right? So that's the opportunity, is you're unlocking what they've already learned potentially, or what they're tapping into really. And when you make that investment, even with StoryBrand too, have unlocked a certain framework and niche and a skill that's going to allow me to do X, right? And the mentorship that I've been getting are now showing me ways and how to manage, the business, the finances, the personal life, and manage really the energy that you're going to be putting out there, because all of this does take energy, the hours of education, the videos, and the things that you can get so caught up in. But sometimes you need that mentorship and the program and an individual to kind of kick you into gear. Just like, with the coaching that you do and I have done with my clients, this even for ourselves, is so common, but we need to have the people there to set us in gear, right? The structure.
Yeah. And not even just in business, like what you just said, right? A holistic lifestyle, fulfillment, their joy and happiness, their relationships, like, what mentors are you picking? And I'm just curious, to kind of wrap it up is, who are your three mentors, would you say, right now? I know it's ever evolving for myself at least, but who would you say are three of your mentors that you're really looking up to right now?
So right now I'm connected with Yaya Bakar and actually his crew, Abe, Rob. These guys have really been helping me structure, put together my packages, what I'm offering out to the world, and then obviously, help there and support me along the way. I've always looked up to Tom Bilyeu, in his style and his approach. Who are some other offsetting people? There's a few real estate investors that I'm getting involved with at this time. And yeah, I do have a mix, I must say. I'm kind of all over the place, but it depends on the region, because I like Seth Godin for marketing and the StoryBrand method and technology with Don Miller. I love his style. I'll jump onto some Gary Vee as well. Those are some individuals right now that I'm definitely really attacking onto. But when it comes to like my go-tos, I would say right now, because I'm in my mentorship, definitely with Yaya Bakar, he's a standout. And in the future, I'm looking to work with other organizations within Singularity University. So, there's individuals like Stephen Kotler and Peter Diamandis that I'm looking to involve myself with when that time happens. So that's another thing that I really value, is my time and energy. And I don't want to be overwhelming myself with too much mentorship per se, because then you just get over bombarded, right? So there's too many voices going in your head. You're also going to potentially freeze, right? You're not sure which is the right direction. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, it's definitely
analysis by paralysis. And also when you have too many voices, well, they're contradicting sometimes. And so which one do you listen to? So yeah, it's definitely, test them out, try everybody, just like what we talked about last week, right? We talked about passion. You have to have some sort of curiosity or interest in something, and try a bunch of different things. As you're traveling, you might like some places better than others, and you're not going to like them all. Same thing with mentorship. Try a little bit of everything. Be curious about what they say. Don't throw anything out of the window. Take it all and see what you can use. And if you can't use it, then move on to the next thing. But yeah.
I think if I was to close off on that statement too, and it's just an expansion of where you're heading in, and if you're really interested in, the artistic route, or, some whole wellness direction and fitness, see who are the standouts there, right? And that's where it really comes down to. And I'm in this transitional period right now from my own direction to 2021. So that's where my mentorship is all changing, based off of where I want my trajectory, my goal, right? And I tried different things, right? And so this is another reason that, it's very important to feel out where you are, find that passion, dive in, start to ask questions, start to reach out, start to connect with communities and groups and educational platforms and mentors to really, evolve that initial fascination that you have.
I love it, Joey. I appreciate your time today, brother.
Yeah, it was almost awesome. I love these sessions. And for anybody tuning in that has any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help.
Yeah. So how would they find you?
Yeah, Joey Bigelli on Instagram, actually on all social medias. So you'll be able to just type that in, and then you'll find me. We'll probably link it in this bio too, wherever we'll be airing this.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. Sending you love and blessings. Don't forget to subscribe to us at A Hero's Academy. And until next time, align with your inner hero.